Birth and family background. Brock Edward Lesnar was born on July 12, 1977, in Webster, a small rural town in northeastern South Dakota. He grew up on a dairy farm in the even smaller community of Merrifield. No correction, he grew up near Webster and later in the rural area of Minneapolis during his wrestling career. But his upbringing was firmly rooted in South Dakota farm life. He is the son of Richard and Stephanie Lesnar. His father served in the United States Army and later became a dairy farmer. Brock grew up alongside his two older brothers, Chad and Troy, and a younger sister, Brandy. Life on a farm shaped nearly everything about Lesnar's personality. Farm work required early mornings, physical endurance, and discipline. From a young age, he helped with chores such as baling hay, feeding livestock, and heavy manual labor. This environment naturally built his extraordinary strength and toughness. Long before he entered organized sports, Lesnar has often credited his farm upbringing for giving him physical resilience, mental toughness, work ethic, independence. Preference for privacy. Was not raised in luxury. His childhood was modest, practical, and deeply rooted in rural American values. Athletic beginning. His school years. Lesnar attended Webster High School in South Dakota. During high school, he participated in wrestling. Football. Wrestling quickly became his primary sport. Even as a teenager, Lesnar stood out physically. He had an unusually muscular build, explosive speed, and natural athletic coordination. By his senior year, he had become one of the most dominant high school wrestlers in the state. He won the South Dakota State Championship in wrestling, establishing himself as a legitimate collegiate prospect. His combination of brute strength and technical wrestling ability made him unique. Unlike many wrestlers who rely solely on technique, Lesnar possessed overwhelming physical dominance. College life. Bismarck State College. After high school, Lesnar enrolled at Bismarck State College. At Bismarck State, he competed in junior college wrestling. He refined his mat technique. He developed into a national-level competitor. In 1998, he won the National Junior College Athletic Association (NCAA) Heavyweight Championship. This victory elevated his profile nationally. During this time, Lesnar was not just strong, he became technically polished. Coaches noted incredible explosiveness, rare agility for a heavyweight, aggressive wrestling style, ability to overpower opponents. Also formed important friendships, including with future professional wrestling star Shelton Benjamin. University of Minnesota. After success at Bismarck State, Lesnar transferred to the University of Minnesota. This is where his wrestling career reached its peak. NCAA career. Lesnar competed in NCAA division, a wrestling in the heavyweight division. His achievements include 1999 NCAA runner-up, 2000 NCAA Division I heavyweight champion. In 2000, he won the NCAA heavyweight championship with a dominant performance, finishing his senior year with a 27-1 record. His overall college record was 106.5. That level of dominance placed him among the greatest collegiate heavyweights of his era. Training environment. At Minnesota, Lesnar trained in an elite wrestling environment. The program emphasized intense conditioning, strategy and match control, mental toughness, discipline. Estimates described him as intimidating, extremely competitive, quiet but driven. Hair was not a loud personality. Even in college, Lesnar preferred to let performance speak. Physical development. During his college years, Lesnar developed the massive physique that later made him famous in professional wrestling. At roughly 6'3", tall, around 285 300 pounds. During competition, extremely low body fat. This combination of size and speed was rare even among elite heavyweights. Transition from college wrestling. After winning the NCAA title, Lesnar briefly considered pursuing the Olympics. However, a motorcycle accident in 2000 derailed his Olympic aspirations. Shortly after, he was signed by World Wrestling Federation, now known as WWE. He was sent to develop in Ohio Valley Wrestling, where he began training as a professional wrestler. Although this marked the start of his pro wrestling career, his foundation was entirely built on his amateur wrestling college years. Personality. During college years, Lesnar has often described himself as antisocial, extremely competitive, focused, not interested in fame. Like many future entertainers, he did not dream of being a television star. His focus was always on competition. He has openly said that he dislikes city life and prefers isolation, a preference that began during his college years and continued into adulthood. Married. Lifa relationship with Sable. Lesnar is married to Sable, real name Rena Marlette. Lesnar, Sable, was previously a major star in WWE during the late 1990s. They began dating in the early 2000s. Despite an age difference, Sable is older than Lesnar. Their relationship developed quickly. They married in 2006. Family life. Brock and Sable have 2 sons together. Turk Lesnar, Duke Lesnar. Lesnar also has twin sons Mya and Luke. From a previous relationship with Nicole McLean, Mya Lesnar became a successful track and field athlete. Private lifestyle. Lesnar is famously private. He and Sable live primarily on a farm in Saskatchewan, Canada. They previously lived in Alexandria before moving to Canada for more privacy. Lesnar enjoys hunting, farming, isolation, avoiding media attention. Like many celebrities, he avoids social media and public appearances outside contractual obligations. Marriage philosopher Lesnar has spoken about valuing loyalty, protecting family privacy, keeping personal life separate from business. Sable largely retired from public wrestling appearances to focus on family life. Their marriage has remained stable for nearly 2 decades, unusual in professional wrestling circles. Contrast between public persona and private life in WWE and MMA, notably in Ultimate Fighting Championship. Lesnar portrayed an aggressive, loud, intimidating persona. However, privately he is reserved, family-oriented, anti-Hollywood, farm folk who said the contrast between the Beast Incarnate character and his quiet rural life is one of the most fascinating aspects of his biography. Influence of early life on Mariagris. Farm upbringing strongly influenced his married life. Early life trait. Married life reflection. Rural upbringing lives on farm. Privacy value. Davoid's meta hard work. Structured family life. Independence. Silidum. Public presentures. Entire life arc shows consistency between childhood and adulthood. Legacy of his college years. Lesnar's college wrestling success built his legitimacy, gave him credibility in WWE, made his UFC transition believable, established him as a real combat athlete. With it, his NCAA championship at the University of Minnesota. His later career in WWE and UFC may not have carried the same respect. Conclusion. Brock Lesnar's life can be understood in 3 stages. Rural South Dakota farm boy, dominant NCAA heavyweight champion. Private family man living away from family's. Early life built the physical and mental toughness. His college career built competitive legitimacy. His married life reflects his values of privacy, loyalty, and simplicity. Despite becoming one of the most recognizable combat sports figures in the world, Lesnar has never truly left behind the farm kid from South Dakota. Before the gym, farm strength bore Brock Lesnar ever stepped into a formal gym, he was already building strength, just not in the traditional way. Growing up near Webster, Lesnar's first training program was farm life. His childhood revolved around lifting hay bales, carrying feed sacks, fixing fences, handling farm equipment, working long hours outdoors. Farm labor does not isolate muscles the way modern weightlifting does. Instead, it builds raw, functional power. For a young Brock, strength was not about appearance. It was survival, responsibility, and contribution to the family. This environment laid the foundation for dense muscle development, grip strength, lower body power, mental endurance. By his early teenage years, he already possessed a naturally powerful frame. 2. First exposure to a real gym. Lesnar's first exposure to structured weight training came during high school in Webster. Like many American high school athletes, the football and wrestling teams had access to a modest weight room. This was not a luxury training center. It likely contained basic bench press racks, free weights, squat racks, dumbbells, basic machines. For Lesnar, the gym quickly became more than a place to prepare for sports. It became a battleground. Coaches noticed that he was naturally explosive, extremely competitive, unusually strong for his agents. He started lifting. He realized he could dominate physically. 3. Who motivated him? 1. His father. Lesnar has spoken about his father, Richard Lesnar, as a hard-working, disciplined man. Although not a bodybuilder or gym enthusiast, his father instilled work ethic, toughness, responsibility, discipline. Motivation was not verbal encouragement, it was example. Watching his father work daily without complaint taught Brock that physical strength was a tool, not a showpiece. 2. Wrestling coach. High school wrestling coaches were instrumental. Wrestling is one of the most physically demanding sports. Coaches emphasized strength training, conditioning, explosive power, mental resilience. She pushed Lesnar to lift not just to look strong, but to win. Wrestling culture values grind and suffering. That mindset shaped his relationship with the gym. 3. Internal drive. Perhaps the most important motivator was Brock himself. Lesnar has often been described as intensely competitive. He hated losing. In wrestling, strength can become a decisive advantage, especially in the heavyweight division. He realized, if I'm stronger than everyone else, I control the match. That realization turned lifting from preparation into obsession. 4. College, where gym became obsession after high school. Lesnar attended Bismarck State College. Here, training became more structured and intense. Junior college athletics required heavy lifting cycles, Olympic lifts, cleans, snatches, squats, and deadlifts. Conditioning drills. Lesnar thrived in this environment. Teammates have described him as someone who trained harder than required, stayed longer after practice, treated every session like competition. When he later transferred to the University of Minnesota, the intensity multiplied. The Minnesota wrestling program was elite. Strength training was scientific and aggressive. Lesnar's size and explosiveness grew significantly during this period. 5. Training philosophy. Unlike bodybuilders who train for aesthetics, Lesnar trained for performance. His routines emphasized explosive strength, compound lifts, functional power, core stability. Lifts in his development likely included back squats, power cleans, bench press, deadlifts, pull-ups, sled pushes. The focus was always, will this help me dominate? Not, how do I look? 6. Circumstances and challenges he faced. 1. Limited resource. Coming from a rural farming background meant limited access to elite facilities early on. He did not grow up in professional performance centers, high-end athletic academies, big city training hubs. Had to maximize basic equipment. 2. Financial constraints. Farm life did not create wealth. College athletics often required balancing school, wrestling, living expenses. Lesnar's rise was not cushioned by luxury. His strength came from necessity. 3. Injurious. Wrestling is brutal on the body. Heavyweight training combined with intense mat sessions, repetitive strain, explosive movements increased injury risk. Throughout his early career, he dealt with muscle strains, joint stress. Minor tears. Later in life, more severe health issues would emerge, but even in his early years, pain was constant. 4. Mental pressure. At the University of Minnesota, expectations were high. He was not just another athlete, he was a top recruit. Pressure included scholarship expectations, performance standards, national rankings representing the university. Gym became both a solution and a source of pressure. He trained harder to silence doubt. 7. Motorcycle accident in 2000. Shortly after winning the NCAA heavyweight championship, Lesnar suffered a serious motorcycle accident. This accident disrupted Olympic aspirations, wrestling momentum, training, rhythm recovery, required rehabilitation, adjusted training, patience. Someone built on aggression and intensity. Forced recovery was psychologically challenging, but he returned stronger. 8. Transition to professional wrestling. After college, Lesnar signed with the World Wrestling Federation, now WE. In developmental training at Ohio Valley Wrestling. Gym work intensified further. Now he trained not only for strength, but for appearance, television presence, durability, explosive show performance. Relentless. Wrestling required size, conditioning, injury resistance. He bulked up significantly during this time. 9. UFC era and elite conditioning. Years later, when he entered Ultimate Fighting Championship, his gym work evolved again. MMA demanded cardiovascular endurance, grappling strength, striking power, weight management. As training camps became extreme, combining heavy strength sessions, fight sparring, wrestling drills, recovery protocols. Physical stress during this period was enormous. 10. Health crisis. Diverticulation. Of the most difficult circumstances he faced was a severe battle with diverticulitis during his MMA career. This condition caused severe abdominal pain, hospitalization, surgery, weight loss. At one point, His life was at risk. He lost significant muscle mass during recovery. For someone whose identity was built around physical dominance, this was devastating, but after surgery, he rebuilt his body again through disciplined gym work. 11. Psychological relationship with the gym for Lesnar. The gym became a place of control, a place of dominance, a stress outlet. A proving ground has never been someone motivated by social approval. He trained because he wanted power, he wanted control. He wanted competitive advantage, key traits that helped him. Lesnar's gym success came from genetic advantage, relentless work ethic, high pain tolerance, extreme competitiveness, discipline from rural upbringing. 14. The result be his mid-20s. Lesnar had built one of the most intimidating physiques in combat sports history. He was over 280 pounds, extremely lean, explosively fast, functionally powerful. His gym journey was not glamorous. It was built on early farm labor, high school weight rooms, college athletic programs, professional performance centers, recovery from severe illness. Final reflection. Brock Lesnar did not start lifting because of celebrity dreams. He started because wrestling required it, competition demanded it. Strength gave him control. This motivation was not fame. It was dominance, and every circumstance, poverty, rural life, injury, illness, pressure, forged the intensity that made him one of the most physically imposing athletes of his generation. Brock Lesnar is one of the most dominant and polarizing figures in professional wrestling history. A once-in-a-generation athlete, he combined NCAA wrestling excellence, explosive power, legitimate fighting credentials, and a terrifying aura to become the youngest WWE champion in history. His journey to the WWE Championship, his rivalries with wrestling's biggest icons, and his long-standing companionship with Paul Heyman shaped an era. This is the complete story of how Lesnar joined WWE, won the WWE Championship, battled legendary competitors, and formed one of the greatest alliances in wrestling history. Early life and amateur wrestling dominance. Before the lights of WWE, Brock Lesnar was a farm boy from Webster, South Dakota. Raised on a dairy farm, he developed extreme physical strength from hard labor. His athletic ability showed early, and he became a standout amateur wrestler. At the University of Minnesota, Lesnar achieved elite status, NCAA Division I heavyweight champion 2000, two-time All-American, Big Ten champion, incredible 106-5 college recordist, explosive double leg takedown, unmatched power, and relentless aggression made him a feared competitor. These traits would later define his WWE persona. Arrival in WWE 2002. Lesnar signed with WWE in 2000 and was sent to Ohio Valley Wrestling OVW, WWE's developmental territory. There, he trained alongside future stars like John Cena, Randy Orton, and Batista. By early 2002, WWE executives realized they had something special. WWE main roster debut Brock Lesnar debuted on Raw in March 2002. He immediately destroyed established stars, showcasing his power by throwing opponents across the ring, breaking ribs, delivering devastating F5 finisher. Was presented not as a rookie but as a monster. The road to the WWE Championship. Lesnar's push was historic. King of the Ring 2002. In June 2002, Lesnar entered the King of the Ring tournament. He defeated Rob Van Dam Test and finally won the tournament, winning King of the Ring earned him a WWE Championship match at SummerSlam 2002. SummerSlam 2002. The historic victory at SummerSlam 2002, Lesnar faced the reigning champion. The Rock to Rock was one of the biggest stars in the world at the time. Facing him in only his fourth month on the main roster was unprecedented. The match, back and forth power exchanges. Lesnar kicked out of The Rock's people's elbow, delivered an F5, pinned The Rock clean. At 25 years old, Brock Lesnar became the youngest WWE champion in history. It was a defining moment. WWE had crowned its next megastar. Major competitors throughout his WWE Championship career. Brock Lesnar's championship reigns and returns created rivalries that shaped modern wrestling. Below are the most important competitors of his career. Kurt Angle. Wrestling versus wrestling. Perhaps his most technically compelling rival was Kurt Angle. Why this rivalry mattered: both were elite amateur wrestlers, both relied on legitimate grappling, both had explosive intensity. The feud peaked at WrestleMania 19 2003. In the main event, Lesnar attempted a shooting star press and nearly broke his neck, still managed to defeat Angle. Retained the WWE Championship. This rivalry proved Lesnar wasn't just a powerhouse, he was an elite wrestler. The Undertaker, the Dead Man versus the Beast. One of Lesnar's earliest championship defenses was against the Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell 2002. He won. Years later, in 2014, at WrestleMania 30, Lesnar achieved the unthinkable, ended the Undertaker's 21-0 WrestleMania streak. This transformed Lesnar into something even greater, a mythic conqueror. John Cena, ruthless aggression era collision. Lesnar and Cena represented two eras colliding. Extreme Rules 2012. Lesnar returned after years away and brutally attacked Cena in a violent match. SummerSlam 2014. Lesnar defeated Cena for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. In one of the most dominant performances ever, 16 German suplexes, complete destruction, clean victory. Ray established him as an unstoppable force. Roman Reigns, the modern epic rivalry. This rivalry defined WWE's modern era. Their battles included WrestleMania 31, WrestleMania 34, WrestleMania 38, SummerSlam 2022 last man standing match with tractor spot. Reigns eventually became the long-term champion, symbolizing the passing of dominance. Goldberg Power vs. Powerlessness rivalry with Goldberg was about T Survivor Series 2016. Goldberg defeated Lesnar in 86 seconds at WrestleMania 33. Lesnar avenged the loss, won the Universal Championship. This showed Lesnar could both fall and rise again. The Ultimate Companionship, Paul Heyman. No discussion of Brock Lesnar is complete without Paul Heyman. Why this partnership worked. Heyman handled all promos. Lesnar maintained mystique. Heyman framed him as the Conqueror, marketed him as a legitimate sports champion. Heyman's catchphrase, "My client, Brock Lesnar." Their relationship lasted over 2 decades with brief breaks. It elevated Lesnar into something more than a wrestler, a special attraction. WWE Championship reigns overview. Lesnar's WWE Championship journey includes multiple reigns: 2002 youngest champion ever, 2003 feud with Angle 2014, dominant return reign 2019 and beyond, multiple title runner. Also held the Universal Championship for over 500 days in one reign. Departure and MMA success. In 2004, Lesnar left WWE due to burnout and frustration. He briefly pursued NFL football before transitioning to MMA. In UFC, became UFC heavyweight champion. Proved his legitimacy as a real fighter when he returned to WWE in 2012. He wasn't just a wrestler, he was a legitimate combat sports champion. Legacy. Brock Lesnar changed professional wrestling in several ways, brought real sports legitimacy, created Suplex City, ended the Undertaker's streak, main evented multiple WrestleManias, became the ultimate special attraction, wasn't always present weekly, but when he appeared, it felt major. Personality and character. Lesnar's character traits: intense, silent, explosive, unpredictable. Unlike most champions, he didn't need long speeches. His aura was built on destruction. Impact on WWE's business models and helped establish the part-time megastar model, limited appearances, high-impact matches, major PPV draws. This model influenced how WWE uses special attractions today. Strengths that made him champion: NCAA Wrestling Foundation, legitimate MMA credibility, incredible physical strength. Paul Heyman's promo mastery, booking is unstoppable. Few superstars were protected like Lesnar. Weaknesses and criticism. Despite greatness, critics argue, limited match variety, part-time schedule, frustrated fans, over-dominance hurt some rising stars. Yet, every era needs a dominant final boss, and Lesnar filled that role. Brock Lesnar's companionship beyond Heyman. Thor primarily aligned with Paul Heyman. Lesnar has had brief alliances, temporary tag partnerships, business-focused relationships, but none reach the level of the Lesnar-Heyman bond. Final thoughts. The Beast Incarnate's place in history. Brock Lesnar's journey to the WWE Championship was meteoric. In just months, he debuted, won King of the Ring, defeated The Rock, became youngest WWE champion. From there, he battled legends, broke streaks, and redefined dominance. His competitors included Kurt Angle, technical classic, Undertaker, mythic battle, John Cena era clash, Roman Reigns, modern dynasty war, Goldberg Power showdown. His companionship with Paul Heyman remains one of wrestling's greatest partnerships. Love him or hate him, Brock Lesnar is not just a former WWE champion, he is one of the most legitimate, dominant, and impactful superstars in wrestling history. The Ultimate Guide to Gym Motivation Complete Deep Dive. Gym motivation is one of the most misunderstood concepts in fitness. Most people think motivation is a feeling, a burst of excitement, hype music, or a surge of energy that pushes them to work out. But real gym motivation goes much deeper. It's psychological, emotional, biological, and behavioral. It's built, not found. This comprehensive guide will explore everything about gym motivation: how it works, why it fades, how to build unstoppable discipline, how to stay consistent for years, and how to turn fitness into a lifelong identity. 1. Understanding what motivation really is. Motivation is not just feeling like working out, it is the internal drive that moves you toward a goal. There are two primary types. One extrinsic motivation. This comes from outside rewards, looking good, getting compliments, losing weight for an event, impressing someone, social media validation. Extrinsic motivation works, but it's temporary. 1.2 Intrinsic motivation. This comes from within, enjoying the process, feeling strong, loving self-improvement, stress relief, building discipline. Intrinsic motivation lasts much longer because it connects to identity and meaning. The secret: you may start with extrinsic motivation, but long-term gym success requires intrinsic motivation. 2. Why most people lose gym motivation. Many people start strong. January 1st hits, they join the gym, buy new clothes, and feel unstoppable. By February, attendance drops. Why? 2. 1. Unrealistic expectations. People expect fast weight loss, immediate muscle growth, six-pack abs in 30 days. When results don't match expectations, motivation collapses. 2.2 Relying on emotion. If you only train when you feel like it, you will train inconsistently. Feelings are unstable. 2. 3. No clear goal. Getting in shape is vague. Without specific targets, your brain has no direction. 2. 4. No identity shift. If you still see yourself as lazy, unathletic, not a gym person, your behavior will reflect that identity. 3. The psychology of long-term gym motivation. To master gym motivation, you must understand how your brain works. 3. 1. Dopamine and reward. Dopamine is not pleasure, it's anticipation of reward. When you hit a PR, see physical progress, complete a tough workout, your brain reinforces that behavior. Solution: create small wins consistently. 3. 2. Habit loop. Habits operate on a loop. Cue, routine, reward. Example: cue, 6 o'clock p.m. alarm. Routine, gym workout. Reward, post-workout endorphins. Repeat this enough times and motivation becomes automatic. 3.3 Identity-based motivation. The strongest form of motivation comes from identity. Instead of saying, "I'm trying to go to the gym," say, "I'm someone who trains." When fitness becomes part of who you are, you don't negotiate with it. 4. Building discipline. When motivation fails, motivation fades. Discipline sustains. Discipline is doing what must be done, regardless of mood. 4. 1. The 5-minute rule. Tell yourself, "I'll go for just 5 minutes." Most of the time, once you start, you finish. 4.2 Remove decision fatigue. Out gym clothes, PRE workout, water bottle, juice friction. 4. 3. Fixed schedule. Train at the same time daily. Routine removes choice. 5. Setting powerful fitness goals. Goals give direction. 5. 1 outcome goals. Lose 20 pounds. Bench press 225 pounds. Run 5,000 in 25 minutes. 5. 2. Process goals. Train 4 times per week. Eat protein daily. Sleep 7+ hours. Out goals inspire. Process goals create results. 6. How to stay motivated during plateaus are normal. Your body adapts. When progress stalls, change rep ranges. Increase intensity, improve sleep, reassess nutrition. Number, plateaus test commitment. 7. The role of environment in motivation. Your environment shapes your behavior. 7. 1. Gym choice. Pick a gym that inspires you, matches your energy, has equipment you enjoy. 7.2. Social circle. Surround yourself with people who train, supportive friends, fitness communities. Energy is contagious. 8. Mental barriers that kill motivation. 8.1 Fear of judgment. Many avoid the gym because they feel watched. Truth: everyone is focused on themselves. 8. 2. Perfectionism. One workout doesn't mean failure. Consistency. Perfection. 8. 3. Comparison. Comparing Your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10 destroys motivation. Focus on personal progress. 9. Transforming pain into power exercise is physically uncomfortable. Growth requires stress. Instead of avoiding discomfort, embrace it. Pain in the gym is muscle fibers rebuilding cardiovascular system, improving mental resilience, growing from pain as progress. 10. Motivation versus momentum. Motivation starts. Momentum sustains. Once you build 30-60 days of consistency, skipping feels wrong. Momentum creates identity. 11. Creating a gym mindset ritual. Before each workout, listen to a specific playlist. Visualize your goal body. Repeat affirmations. Warm up consistently. Ritual builds mental readiness. 12. Tracking progress for motivation. What gets measured improves. Track weights lifted, body measurements, progress photos, endurance time. Seeing improvement fuels consistency. 13. Body image and self-respect. Gym motivation shouldn't come from self-hate. Train because you respect your body, you value health, you want strength. Self-respect sustains longer than self-criticism. 14. The power of small improvements. One improvement daily compounds massively. Add 5 more pounds, 1 more rep, 1 better meals, more wins, create massive transformation. 15. When you feel like quitting, ask yourself, why did I start? What happens if I stop? Who do I want to become? Quitting provides temporary relief. Continuing builds permanent pride. 16. Turning gym into lifestyle. Your gym becomes lifestyle. You plan around workouts. You prioritize recovery. You enjoy healthy eating. You think long-term. Fitness shifts from task to identity. 17. Motivation for different goals. 7.1 Fat loss. Focus on calorie awareness, daily movement, long-term sustainability. 17. 2. Muscle gain. Focus on progressive overload, protein intake, patience. 7.3. Strength training. Focus on technique, recovery, consistency. Different goals require different mental frameworks. 18. The role of rest and recovery. Burnout kills motivation. Sleep. 7-9 hours improves hormone balance, reduces fatiguous days, prevent injury, maintain enthusiasm. Recovery protects longevity. 19. Building unshakable confidence. Second Fiends is built through kept promises. Every workout completed, I keep my word to myself. That belief transfers to career, relationships, leadership. Gym discipline strengthens life discipline. 20. Long-term perspective. Fitness is not a 30-day challenge. It's decades. Think, where do I want to be in 10 years? Short-term thinking kills motivation. Long-term thinking builds resilience. 21. Advanced mental strategies to 1.1 Visualization. Aperture, your stronger self, your healthier future, your confident version. To 1.2. Emotional anchor. Associate workouts with power, pride, strength. To 1.3. Non-negotiables. Make gym a rule, not a suggestion. 22. Motivation during hard life phase. When life is stressful, shorten workouts, focus on maintenance, keep habit alive and never aim for perfection. During chaos, aim for continuity. 23. The role of music and motivation. Music increases adrenaline, focus output. Create a playlist that triggers training mode. 24. Building a personal why. Your why must be deep. Examples: be a strong parent, avoid family health issues, build mental toughness, overcome past insecurity. A powerful why survives low motivation days. 25. The transformation timeline. Month 1. Mental battle. Month 2. Visible changes begin. Month 3. Others notice. Month 6. Major transformation. Year 1. Lifestyle establish shed patents creates greatness. 26. Gym motivation quotes mental reinforcement, discipline over feelings. Future you is watching. Comfort is the enemy of progress. You don't rise to goals, you fall to systems. 27. Final truth about gym motivation. Motivation is not magic. It's built through identity, habits, systems, environment, purpose. Most motivated people are not the most excited. They are the most consistent. Final message: will not always feel strong. You will not always feel energetic. You will not always feel confident. But every time you choose to train anyway, you build something deeper than muscle. You build character, and character lasts forever.